Jesus in Matthew, the God our righteousness. In Matthew chapter 5 verse 20, "For I tell you, unless your righteous exceeded that of the scribe and the Pharisee, will never enter the kingdom of heaven." This is Jesus preaching on the mountain. He's referring to the people who did everything they could to become righteous. He names the scribes and the Pharisee who justify their action by doing good works, such as giving to charity, attending church, and following religious rituals. But Jesus will have none of this. The Apostle Paul emphasized in Romans chapter 3, verse 10, "No one is righteous, not even one." On this occasion, Jesus teaches that the people that they do not have the authority nor the ability to choose how one becomes righteous in God's eyes. The scribe and the Pharisee were leading people astray by implying that righteousness could be attained on one's own. The Hebrew scripture, however, have always pointed that righteousness is achieved only through faith in God alone. Dr. Grant Richardson, in verse-by-verse commentary, writes, "God accepts only imputed righteousness from Christ rather than personal righteousness. That God puts this righteousness to our account because of Christ's death for our sin. God puts the standard of His righteousness to our account." Jesus puts in contrast the false righteousness of the scribe and the Pharisees with a genuine righteousness that comes from God. He made Christ, who knew no sin, to be sin in our behalf so that in Him we would become the righteousness of God, that we would made acceptable to Him and placed in the right relationship with Him by His gracious, loving kindness in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 21. Believers are made right with God only by Christ's loving kindness and graciousness. This indeed an amazing grace. God bless you all.